Maybe this was something of a bit of foreshadowing. Let you know that the horns are ready to go. The Dogs decidedly not, and this is not a not interested bit. That's not what I'm saying. Texas was buttoned up. Georgia wasn't. Here on a punt, Jake Camarda's knees down. That means Texas takes over in business. That leads to a field goal. Georgia backed up against their own goal line there. DeAndre Swift, who's really good, puts it on the ground. That's no good. Ensuing Texas possession. Sam Ehlinger, who just told everybody that was curious, we're back. This guy is one tough dude, man. Stays on his feet, gets to the end zone, 17-0. Hook 'em. 20-7. Georgia's looking to get it to within 10. No, they blitz Jake Fromm. Anthony Wheeler gets him. Fromm, struggles continue. Looking deep, just throws it up. Picked by P.J. Locke. A late score makes it look closer than it was. Texas with a big win over Georgia. Kirby Smart live at the podium in the Ford postgame.
10 seconds. So just because they tweet something emotional during that time, that doesn't matter. It gives the other team motivation, but our team was motivated to play Texas. Texas outplayed us, outcompeted us, they outcoached us, they outphysicaled us. They did a lot of things better than us, and I think you give Tom credit.
Again, in the center of the room. Bulldog Illustrated. It seemed like everything kind of steamrolled there. Jake's knee touching the ground, and then the fumble on the 12-yard line. It just seemed like everything could go wrong. It seemed it went wrong that first quarter, and it got you in that tough hole, didn't it?
It did, and those are all things that we controlled. You know what I mean? We controlled the snap. We controlled Jake's knee. We control whether we possess the ball or not because people try to take it from you. But those are all things that you got to be resilient about and go out and overcome. And if you prepare right, and you go out there and play your best football game, you don't have those errors and things. And you got to be able to overcome those sometimes. You think about this year, we didn't have a start of a game similar to like that really all year. So you got to do a better job preparing our players for that and go out and execute.
Again, right down here.
Dan Legge again. Jake, it seemed it took you a little bit of time to get rolling. Was that Texas? Was that y'all, the receivers? Was it everything?
It was tough. They did a really good job game planning for us. They had an entire month to do so, and they were showing a lot of different looks. They were, constantly mixing stuff up. Did a really good job with some eye violation stuff, and showing you one thing one way and bringing it from the other. But I just think, at the beginning, they game planned really well. They showed us what that game plan was, in those first couple of drives, but we just couldn't make adjustments quick enough, really to capitalize on that.
Todd Blackledge joins us now live from New Orleans. And Todd, I had intended to start with Texas since they won, but since Georgia's already at the podium and we heard from them, I'll ask their question about them first. When we picked up Kirby's comments, it was about the tweets, and we all saw the tweets, the guys saying, hey, we should have been in the playoff. They lose to Bama. They lose tonight. They had a heck of a year. How should they frame what their year was after it ended in the disappointing fashion that it did?
Well, I think part of the thing for them is their expectation level is way high right now. They expect to be in the playoffs. They expect to win the SEC championship. It didn't happen this year. I think they still had an outstanding football season, but they didn't play their best tonight. I mean, they were clearly outplayed by Texas.
I agree.
Texas set the tone early and often in this football game, and they outplayed them. And the biggest surprise to me, even though the last couple games Texas' run defense has really played pretty well, and we saw them against Oklahoma hold Oklahoma to about 125 yards of rushing, but they held Georgia to 72 yards rushing tonight. And really, if you do that to Georgia's going to have a hard time winning. They've lost 3 games this year, and all 3 games they clearly got outrushed by LSU, Alabama, and tonight Texas.
Todd, we see games that are upsets, and this was an upset in terms of who the favorite was, but it was not an accident. Right. Texas was the better team demonstrably from start to finish. Yeah. What does this do for Tom Herman, this program that's recruited so well, in terms of its trajectory moving forward?
I think it's huge. I mean, we look back, we talked to John Bianco, the sports information guy at Texas, when's the last game that was this big? And you have to go all the way back to the national championship game. They haven't been in a New Year's Six bowl since 2009. They haven't won a game of this magnitude against an elite team since that game. And so I think it's huge. I mean, they're trending up. They made so many strides from last year to this year. They won a bowl game last year. They went 7-6. They won close games this year. They learned how to finish. They won one-possession games. And then to win a game like this tonight against a program that everybody knows how good Georgia is, I think it does just does tremendous good for him and for his program.
Yeah, they're one of those teams that we always wonder, are they back? Ehlinger says they are, and certainly tonight's performance would indicate they are. We'll hear from Tom Herman on this show live a little bit later. Todd, thanks. Happy New Year. Appreciate you being with me.
Okay, Scott. See you, bud.